Good morning, my favorite people. Welcome to the Yulia Tudor Show, where I deliver to you personal development, marketing strategies, business strategies, and how to build a wildly profitable business online. So right now I'm just going for a little walk. I love this little trail. I always try to get myself grounded every morning before I start my daily grind. And then I usually follow it by a workout. But today I've been inspired to go live for you guys because I am actually going to be doing a live webinar this week. And it's been honestly like months, over half a year since I've done this. But I've been getting a lot of incoming inquiries, and there's been only so many people that I could help on a one-on-one basis. So I just said, screw it. Why don't I go live on this topic and actually show people, literally share my screen and show you what is it that I do behind the scenes. How is it possible to truly make a full-time income online? And you know what? It wasn't too long ago where I was in a position just like you know, watching all these people, watching their lives, watching their webinars, watching their content, and just wondering how is it possible to truly break free. And you know, I'm gonna say something, you know, that people don't want to hear. But number one, you literally have to change the person that you are. Okay? Because to get from where you are right now to where you want to be, you have to break down your present reality. And in order for people to trust and gain the credibility that you are the person to take them from where they are right now to where they want to be, you also need to create a new identity for that, right? So you have to step into the person. You have to create yourself a new identity, right? In order to become a leader. Right? Even when you're buying a mentorship program or a course or something like that, you have to show up as a leader. You have to show up with the intention to, you know, to learn, implement, and lead, right? So, how do you truly create a profitable business online in any niche, really? And that's what's really cool about this concept, is that it doesn't matter what your business is. You know, I don't care what your offer is, with the exception, of course, when it comes to e-commerce, unless you're selling affiliate e-commerce products, because that's a whole different ball game. You got to do product research, you got to find the right target niche. So that's a little bit different. But when it comes to delivering, you know, some type of service or a product, maybe an info product, this strategy works phenomenally well. Welcome, Tim. What's going on, man? It's so nice to see my friends here. I see Paco, Joshua, Berdita. What's going on? Hey guys, let me know what your business is. What is it that your offer is? What is it that your product is? And maybe that way I can actually tailor this live to your needs. So the number one thing that you have to do, okay, is first you have to identify your niche. And I know that we've heard this concept over and over again, but I keep finding that, you know, when I ask people, okay, well, you know, who does this product particularly help? Oh, anyone possible, anyone that I can catch. And it doesn't, if you market to everybody, you're going to sell to nobody, okay? You have to be able to describe your client in a way where, you know, if you were to write, you know, a day in their life, and if they were to read it, they would literally be like, wow, that's exactly me. So you have to describe, you know, your client's characteristics, you know, their needs, their desires, their goals, their pains, their problems, their fears, right? Their dreams. You need to be able to describe that in greater detail. Why is my phone? It's not low battery. That's weird. Let me just turn up the brightness of my screen because I can't see. So you need to be able to identify them in greater detail. And, you know, let's say if you are, let me think of a topic, right? If you're in the fitness industry, for example, right? You don't want to just help everyone. The people that are you know, that run a successful business, that create a powerful brand, they're usually very, very niche specific. So if you're in the fitness industry, for example, you know, maybe you can focus on women during postpartum after they give birth, and how to, you know, basically get their bone structures to go back into place. Right? So, and how to cope with that. What's a healthy diet, and what are the special exercises you do specifically for women who are recovering from birth, right? So you see how it's very, very niche specific. The more narrow your niche is, the more powerful your marketing message will be, because that person will read that content, will come across your ad, and they will resonate so powerfully because it's so freaking specific. You know, if you're a real estate agent, right, you might want to, I don't know, maybe help families with, for example, I know someone in my social network that does philanthropy investing. And you know, that is a way for people to invest into real estate and open up the doors to lower income families, right? So that's still a very niche specific industry. So you got to ask yourself, you know, who is it that I'm trying to help exactly? And I'll give you a little clue. A lot of the times when you're trying to help somebody, ask yourself, why are you even interested in going into that field? Because most of the time we pick a field that, you know, we resonate with, that we can relate to, and therefore want to help other people too. Victor, I'm so sorry, but it's very hard for me to speak Romanian, and this is a live tailored to most English audiences, but feel free to shoot me a message and translate that in English, please. So number one is pick a very specific niche. Okay, so, you know, for me, for an example, is I help affiliate marketers, right? That's very, very specific. And the reason why I pick that niche is, here's where people really screw up. You know, they try to convince people on their niche, right? So if I want to I want to help affiliate marketers succeed in their current business models. I want to help them sell whatever they're selling, but just help do it better. Why on earth would I be going for people that have no interest in becoming an entrepreneur, that have, you know, maybe are just in college or are just employees, and they have never researched the topic of entrepreneurship? They've never expressed interest in that. They've never bought a book. They've never attended a seminar. They've never listened to an audio. Why would I try to convince these people that, hey, entrepreneurship is for you? Because it's not for everybody, right? So stop trying to convince everybody to join your business or to buy your product, because it's not for everybody. So stop trying to market to everyone. You're going to quickly realize that you're going to be in the business of convincing versus the business of serving, which is probably what you actually like to do. It's probably the reason why you joined this business. So it's a way better idea if you select a niche that is already sold on the business model, right? They've bought the products, they've attended the mentorships, the courses, the seminars, they've listened to the audios, the books, they really want to succeed, but for some reason they just haven't gotten there yet, right? Which leads to my next point is, okay, you have to build a business, a brand around a skill, right? But in order to know what skills you need, you kind of need to know, well, what problems are people having? See, a lot of people, what they do, where they screw up, is that they try to answer for the market. Like whenever you think, oh, you know, like this would be a great idea, I'm just going to go and create this, and then I'm going to go and see if people will buy it, right? And then quickly they'll realize that people are not buying. And then you've invested so much time and effort into this business model, and only to discover that, you know, the solution you thought you had is not something that people value. They might say something like, oh, you know, this is a great product, but it's not something I actually really need. It's more just, it's secondary. So instead of, you know, jumping the gun and trying to create something or trying to offer something right away, first ask the question of, you know, go ahead and ask the question of, what do people need, right? Literally go into the marketplace and say, hey, what kind of problems are you having, with health and fitness? What kind of problems are you having with your business? You're a plumbing service. What seems to be the main issue? They might reply, oh, well, it's, generating leads. Because maybe in some cases, once, like for example, a lot of businesses have troubles generating leads, but once the person is through the door, they can actually close and sell them. So maybe you don't need to actually help them close and sell, but what that particular niche needs is more just leads through the door. Like for example, a business that requires gym memberships. So maybe they already have a sales process in place, they have a system, but they're having troubles with outreach and they're having troubles with generating leads, right? So then you can say, okay, so then I'm going to create a very specific service or offer for businesses that sell gym memberships, and I'm going to help them specifically with lead generation, and I'm going to help them do that online, right? So now that when you go back to that person or that business owner and you say, okay, well, you said this was your problem, well, what if I have this solution, right? So let's just kind of, sum this up a little bit. So the first thing I said is be very niche specific. The more specific you are, the more profitable you'll be, because you will be the go-to specialist in this field, and it actually narrows down your competition. Another thing is, don't try to figure out what the problem is. Ask, okay? Because, even if you were a doctor, for example, a doctor always asks for your symptoms before they prescribe the medicine. So you don't want to be like, here's the solution for you, when you never even figured out what kind of problem they have to begin with. So ask the marketplace, do some market research, figure out what kind of demands do they have, what kind of problems do they have, what kind of needs do they have, so that then you can tailor your offer and your service to, serve that problem. Because people will always pay, for a problem that's really costing them a lot, right? For a business to not have, leads coming in every day, to have eyes on the offer daily, they'll go flatline. That's a huge problem that could potentially cost them millions of dollars. So businesses will pay for a solution that can solve them a very costly problem. So make sure that you actually take the time to do the research, the market research, to solve that problem. Now, the third part of this is, if you don't know how to solve it, then it's time to acquire the skills to solve that problem. So at this point, at least oh, okay, I'm going to need to have to improve my lead generation skills. I'm going to need to learn how to generate traffic. I'm going to need to learn how to create funnels, to funnel those leads into a follow-up sequence to make sure that they buy, and at least that I fund the marketing budget on the front end, right? So you're learning maybe copywriting skills, maybe funnel building, maybe how to run advertisements, maybe even free social media skills. So once you discover what the problem is, then it's easy to learn, it's easy to figure out what kind of skills you need to acquire. So it's really, really important that you do these 3 steps, because I think a lot of people just kind of throw spaghetti at the wall and see what will stick. And they say it's a numbers game, just, keep knocking doors and just keep trying and just keep going. And that sucks, okay? And you're going to face a lot of rejection if you don't have an actual strategy, my friends. So comment down below, let me know, what kind of business are you running, if you are a business owner, or maybe you're just kind of an aspiring entrepreneur, and what are some of the issues that you're struggling with, right? Because ultimately, then you know what kind of solutions you need to get. So I really, I got inspired to do this because I have incoming messages all the freaking time, and they're asking like, Yulia, how can I take my business online? And I've been getting a lot of coaches, people that are in the health and wellness industry, even hypnotherapy, relationship coaches. And the problem is that they're not so niche specific, right? And they're trying to give solutions to people that don't really need them. So it's a way better idea. If you can have, a solution that solves people's problems, you now have something that's very attractive, and you'll become the attractor factor. Now, the next question is once you figured out, okay, what your niche is, you figured out what problems they have, and you're in the process of acquiring those skills, how do you get known, right? How do people get to find out who you are, what you do, right? And I think that's a tricky process, especially if you're new in the industry, especially if maybe you're working with a limited marketing budget. Speaking of paid ads, you know, it can be scary if you're brand new and you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to run that, and you're literally just kind of throwing dollars down the drain. I've even heard people running paid advertising without even having like a lead capture page to actually capture those leads. Like, yeah, they're getting more likes and followers to their page, but they don't have a system in place to actually follow up with those people that liked them, that followed them, right? And it's pretty scary to see people just literally throw money down the drain without having a system in place to make sure that you're funding your advertising costs on the front end. So, you know, if you're kind of brand new to the, you know, taking your service or your offer online, what I would suggest is first start with free social media strategies, get you into the money. Oh my God, I tripped out. I thought I saw a bear, but it was just a tree. It's bear season, guys, and I've actually seen 2 bears while I was out here. So I'm very freaking cautious because I'm right by the river and they like to go eat some fish. Please don't leave me. But anyways, my heart stopped right there. That was freaking funny. What was I saying? So, okay, if you're brand new, honestly, I would recommend mastering some free social media strategies. Unless you're brand new and you have a marketing budget ready to go and you have the time and patience to learn, or even to outsource, right? Maybe you have someone that can outsource to, oh, that's such a cool fish. I wish I could show you guys. Do you see it? Like, that's a giant, giant fish. Oh my God. Anyways, I'm being really ADD, sorry. There's so many cool things happening around me. So if you're brand new, here's the thing. If you got zero marketing budget and you kind of want to get going, learn some free social media skills, okay? Learn how to become an attractor factor, learn how to gain attention, learn how to grow an audience, learn how to deliver value, right? And learn how to create engagement in a way that where you get people coming to you versus you chasing them. If you're brand new, but you got money and you ain't got the time, then, you know, perhaps go into paid advertising and outsource someone that could do that for you. In fact, I got a team that I've put together that creates all your funnels, your email follow-up series, your Facebook ads. It's all done. I got funnel templates all pre-done for you. In that case, you know, I would just outsource. Unless, of course, you actually want to maybe build a skill to learn how to do these, you know, paid advertising, social media strategies, how to build funnels and all that. If you want to actually learn these skills and then offer that as a service, then by all means, it's a great idea to learn them. But what I have done, because when I first started online, is, listen, I didn't have a marketing budget. In fact, I was working my corporate job because you know, I tried a few ventures. Not gonna lie, I used to be one of those entrepreneurs where I would try a lot of things and I would fail in a lot of things to the point where I swallowed my pride and dropped my ego and I got myself a real job, right? And that was soul crushing. And not only that, I was also in a lot of physical pain. So I posted a post of like, what kind of entrepreneur are you? And for me, what motivated me to go on the path of entrepreneurship is because I had a physical injury, I had spine surgery, and for me, sitting in a chair 8 to 10 hours a day on somebody else's watch was so freaking painful that was literally going to put me in a wheelchair. Not only that, I didn't go from employee to entrepreneur. I went from entrepreneur to employee, and that was very soul crushing because I was used to working on my own terms. And even though I worked a lot more than a regular employee, I freaking loved it because I did it on my own terms and I was creating my own freedom. I had a property maintenance business with my brother. And it was crazy. Like literally the year that we opened up the business, as you know, BC has been going under a lot of wildfires, and literally the year that we opened our business, we could not use water. And we had a cleaning business where you required to use water. So I had to say, okay, screw it. Let's move. You know, let's go to a city where we can use water. And then we ended up moving to Kamloops, literally within a week of opening up the business, and that was crazy. But it was really fun, and I expanded the business in 3 different cities in a span of 6 months. We were already profiting within our first 3 months, and it was awesome. But quickly, what I realized that in a brick and mortar business, I pretty much bought myself another job. I was doing the accounting, I was doing the marketing, I was doing the sales, I was even sometimes doing the labor. Yeah, you would find me on the freaking roof cleaning houses. My parents were not very proud. They say, why you do a man's job? This is not a job for a woman. They're typical Eastern European. So anyways, what ended up happening is that we had so much labor to do, and we didn't have enough workers. And my brother at the time is kind of perfectionist, and he just kind of wanted to do the work himself. However, he quickly wore himself down and was like, you know what, like I can't do this. And he ended up actually shutting down the business. And I was so heartbroken because I had this vision of creating a franchise and creating a system and expanding like nationally and eventually internationally, kind of like what Brian Scudamore did with Shack and Shine. And what ended up happening is I had to get a job, and then I ended up working for Brian Scudamore because me and him shared the same vision, but it wasn't the right environment for me. See, I wanted to be like Brian Scudamore. I didn't want to be the person below. So, you know, I realized that, you know what, I'm not where I want to be. And if I want to make some drastic changes in my life, something's got to change. So you're probably in the same situation right now where, you know, you might have a job and you're trying to hustle your business on the side, but you've been doing this for some time and you haven't actually made enough to quit your job and go in your business full time. So that to me tells me obviously something's not working. Now I'm crazy, and what I did is, what really pushed me over the edge is that I remember that, so at this point, it was like, you know, 5 a.m. in the morning that I would wake up to go to my job. I would look outside, it'd be pouring rain, it was dark, the whole town is like freaking sleeping, and I'm just like dragging this. I'm always late to work because I was in so much physical pain at this point that I couldn't even sleep at night. And so I was literally running on 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and that like makes me miserable. I'm one of those people that likes to sleep a lot, and it made me miserable. And then I remember stumbling into work one day, and my boss calls me into the office, and she says, listen, your performance is not up to our standards, and you've been showing up late, you've been missing days. We're not gonna give you the $1.25 raise. I freaking snapped. I snapped. I went and I had a freaking meltdown, and I ran to the bathroom stall. And I was like trying to hold my tears back, but at this point I was just bawling my eyes out because I'm like, what the hell is going on? I am so much more than this. I am so much better than this. I have a higher potential. I have a bigger vision. I am selling myself short, and I know for the fact that I can be better than this. I can be bigger than this. So I took out my phone right in that moment, and I wrote in my phone on my calendar, I think it was like at the end of September, and I wrote down, I quit. I freaking quit. Now listen guys, I didn't have savings, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have a plan, but I had a freaking ambition, and I had a freaking dream, and I had a mission, and I had a vision bigger than myself. I wanted to be a legacy for not just me, but for generations ahead, you know, and I knew that I was selling myself short. At this point, you know, I gave up my psychology career. I got accepted into grad schools. I went to Harvard. I had research publications. Like, I really made it big in my psychology career, but I couldn't freaking do it because of my physical injury, right? And here I was, you know, selling my soul for another $1.25 raise. Fuck that. So I quit. And I needed to get myself a mentor because I realized that, listen, my ego has been up here, but my bank account has been down here. So clearly something's not working, and I need help. Okay, and I didn't have the savings. I had to like put together, I don't know, it was like $3 to $5 grand And it was in US, and I'm in Canada, so that's a 30% increase. So I didn't have the funds to get started. But I always say it's not a problem of money. It's a problem of mindset. It's a problem of lack of ideas. You know, I didn't have the money, but I went and I freaking got it. So I took a pen and paper and I wrote down, not I can't, but how can I? How can I do this? And, you know, what can I sell? What can I, what kind of service can I offer? Can I take maybe more hours at work? Well, maybe not really, because I'm going to quit soon, right? And I had to get really freaking creative, and I did something crazy. I took out a loan, okay, with 50% interest. Okay, just so I can get myself started. That's how freaking bad I wanted. And listen, guys, if I didn't create my breakthrough within 30 days, I was gonna be homeless. I was not gonna be able to cover rent or let alone put food on the table. So it was literally a moment of do or die. And I'm telling you, the people who really make it in this industry are people who are going through like a breakdown, or people who are going through a major transition, or a combination of the both. So if you're someone that's kind of going through that, let me know. Are you going through a kind of like this breakthrough moment? You're going through something that your whole reality is kind of like crumbling down, and you're realizing you're not happy. You're not freaking happy because you feel like shit, right? And if you feel like that, chances are something's got to change. How long are you going to suffer for it, right? How long are you going to be a victim of your circumstances? Fuck that shit. Claim your power back, right? Draw the line in the sand and say enough is enough. Okay, and then go get the money, go make it happen, go get a mentor, go pick up a book, go be part of a community, do something to change your life, because it's not just for you. What are you doing for your family, right? What are you doing for your friends? Well, how are you impacting? How are you leaving a mark, right? I don't really believe that we're meant to just work and pay the bills to consume goods. That's not, I think we have a bigger purpose. We're light beings. We're just having a freaking human experience. And I think your potential is so much more, and we've been dumbed down. We've been dumbed down by our programming. The moment we're put into school, we're literally robbed of our creativity, and we're asked to, you know, we just have to ask for permission to fucking create, right? To do something, to express yourself. And I say, screw that. So I got myself a mentor, okay? And week 1, I was plugging through it nonstop. I didn't eat, I didn't sleep. Week 2, no results. And I was like, oh my God, there's people around me that are succeeding. Why am I not succeeding? I'm freaking out. And I realized that I was in such a high state of fear, right? And doubt, because, you know, I had bills to pay and I didn't know how I was going to do that. No freaking wonder people weren't buying. They sensed that desperate energy, that, you know, that fearfulness, that doubt, that uncertainty, and nobody was buying. So I realized that the energy work is extremely important. And that is why I started this live talking about how you literally have to create a new identity. You have to break down this identity right now. Okay, you have to go through a breakdown in order to have a breakthrough. So I literally had to brainwash myself into the reality I wanted to create. You know, people would think I was crazy. I was like walking through the forest, yelling proclamations. I am powerful. I am light. I am a manifester. I am a multi-millionaire before the age of 35. I'm living in a mansion. I'm driving a McLaren. I'm not there yet, but I'm speaking my reality I'm speaking my vision into reality. And that's literally what I had to do. I had to say, I'm full-time online. I'm traveling all over the world at least 6 months of the year. I would say that stuff. And before you knew it, I finally had my breakthrough. I had my first $1,000 day. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Which then turned into my first $3,000 week, then a $3,000 day, then even made $5,000 on vacation, and everything just became easier. I always found that it was the first sale that was the hardest, but once you get that momentum going, it was actually a lot easier. So what's really cool, and what I actually do for my team, is I actually have a system where the first 2 sales, you know, if you, for example, decide to promote my offer, are actually done for you. The first 2 high ticket sales. And that's phenomenal because I never got that support. And I will show you exactly how you could have, plug into a system where you could learn completely free social media strategies. I don't care if you don't have any marketing skills, okay? If you don't know how to put a website together, don't worry, I didn't know either. In fact, mine looked like shit when I first started. You know, if you don't have an email list, if you don't have a massive following, even if you don't have an offer, you know, that's okay. No matter where you're at, as long as you are already in the mindset of becoming an entrepreneur, you're already in the mindset of running a home-based business or taking your business online, you know, we can help you. So the really cool part is that I did all of this without spending a single cent on paid marketing, guys. This is all free attraction marketing strategies. Does it take some time? Yes, but it's designed with the newbie in mind, so that no matter where you are, as long as you have a freaking work ethic, you have a vision, right? And you know that you want to do something more, and you're willing to do whatever it takes. You're willing to show up, you're willing to put the muscle in the hustle. You will freaking make it, right? But you have to change your identity. You have to break down those old patterns, those old beliefs, and get rid of those programmings that don't belong to you. Because if you look at children when they're first born, they're so full of life. They're so full of belief and courage, and they explore without any hesitation, right? That's who we truly are at the core being. So you have to go back to that true essence, and realize that you're freaking powerful. So I'm going live on Thursday, and I'm going to show you the 5 steps that I have used just using social media. Didn't have a website, didn't have a following, didn't have an email list, didn't have a funnel, didn't have a lead magnet. I didn't have any of these things. I didn't even know what these things were when I first started, but I used a very simple free social media strategy that literally helped me make more in one day than I made at my corporate job, and I have never freaking looked back. And I'm so excited and grateful that I've been able to live this kind of life, and now it's time to give back. So that's why I've been getting a lot of incoming inquiries. If you guys want access to this training, I did provide the link above for you to register. But listen, for those of you that actually register early, drop a comment down below. Let me know that you're registered, that you've subscribed, and I'm actually going to do something that's not on the page that you registered on. I have access to this masterclass so that you can actually plug in to learn some of these strategies before we actually go live on the webinar. So for those that are, there are hustlers that, they don't want to wait until Thursday. They want to get going. They want to learn. They want to have their breakthrough. I put together a free masterclass. It's just like 5 short videos that kind of goes into those 5 steps in a little more detail, so that you can kind of show up to the webinar already prepared. You're already aware, so if you're that kind of hustler and you're hungry, just drop a comment down below. So say masterclass, let me know that you've registered, and I'll go ahead and just give you access to that, because if it means that I get to be a part of your breakthrough journey, I have served my purpose on this planet. So that's my intention. My intention is to serve. My intention is to help you realize your true potential. And I'm dedicated to giving my life to that, because that's where I get the most joy. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me on this live webinar, or on this live feed. And thank you for those joining me on the webinar this Thursday. If you're registering now, drop a comment down below, and I will send you free access to my masterclass to show you the social media strategies that I've used to go full-time online. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you're selling. It could be, affiliate marketing, network marketing. It could be maybe you're a financial advisor, maybe you're a real estate agent, maybe you're some sort of coach. It doesn't matter what your offer is. This strategy works, okay? And I can say it with full confidence because I haven't gone back to a job ever since. So listen, if this resonated with you, let me know. And hey, I'm so excited to be a part of your breakthrough journey, because I know you got what it takes, right? So claim your freaking power back. This is your life, okay? You decide how this is going to unfold. You are the author of your story. So let's write down, some amazing proclamations, affirmations to step into the reality that you want to create. I love you guys, and we'll see you live on the webinar. Ciao for now.